Hey everybody, another update on the 76J10. I know I haven't posted a video in a few days, but I've done a lot of little knickknacks. That's what it's coming down to for this thing right now. So what I did last night was I replaced all the the windshield washer tubing. I bought all this tubing months and months ago in preparation for this, but I replaced it all. I had to readjust these squirt nozzles, which are really, I hate the design of these full-size Jeep squirt nozzles. They're like a copper tube that's pinched in the middle, and it like shoots two solid streams of water out. And you can see the windshield is clean. I got new wipers as well, just some basic ones. They work. And these reservoirs right here were in this Jeep. This one was, mounted the other way, like this, right up here. And this one was up here, and it just was taking a lot of room like that, and it's kind of ugly, to be honest. And they're both coolant reservoirs. I mean, you can use it for a washer reservoir, I guess, but what I did was I took my old Grand Wagoneer's washer bottle, because I replaced it from one in the junkyard that was white, and I've just been saving this one for like 5-6 years now. I put that one in here instead because it has the motor on the bottle itself, and it just screwed right in. This is the old one, if I can freaking find it. So the design for the J10, I guess, had a external washer motor. It had one hose going to the reservoir, and then another hose, which is broken right there. My phone will not focus, but it's broken right here, and yeah, there we go. And that would go to the washer nozzles itself. So, and somebody, was like, this wire right here, they just twisted on. This wire, they just used a little twisty tie thing. I guess there was probably two twisty ties, and one just fell off. This is why you don't use wire nuts on a car. Anyway, so that's fixed, and it's done properly. You can see, works. The brake reservoir, I got a new gasket on, and I know it looks wet back there, but that's from the old fluid from prior when it leaked. The new gasket seems to keep it from leaking now, so that's good. All the fuel lines on the engine have been replaced. I cannot find, for the life of me, I bought a metal line right here that bolts into the fuel pump down there. And this metal line actually goes around and it curls over and it stops like right here, and then you put the fuel filter right there. And so the fuel filter should be up here, and you should only use like maybe 2 or 3 inches of rubber tubing, fuel line tubing. It doesn't need a lot with that metal line. But I bought that like a month and a half ago, and I have been searching in my shop for 2-3 hours, actually going dizzy trying to find it because I'm walking back and forth and it's making me go insane. I don't know what it did with it. Maybe I threw it away. I don't know. That sucks because, it was like an hour drive to get it and whatever. So I just hooked up a new fuel line, a rubber line up to the existing one that broke off right here. Ran it to the fuel filter to the carburetor. And then before, I blocked off the return line, but now the return line is going over here. I know that's a lot. I probably should cut some of it off, make it shorter. But for now, it runs to the new fuel line, return line. There's a new rubber hose down here as well going to the fuel pump. Yeah, I'm probably going to cut this and make it shorter. It's too long, too much. But the oil fill cap, I can't find them locally, so I just put some fish tank filter floss inside mine, cleaned up the cap itself. I kind of like the black cap better than the yellow one anyway. Radiator has been drained and refilled. System has been burped out. What else? New belt for the power steering pump. I left the old alternator belt on there. It's actually in pretty good shape. It's not cracked or anything, so I'm just going to roll with it. I do have a spare one, though, a brand new one I bought. The battery. The hold down for the battery I repaired. This battery doesn't have like a hold down on the top. It's like some old GM style. Even newer GM cars kind of have this, but it holds the battery down here at this little divot in the battery. It goes like inside the battery or whatever. and then it clamps down right there, holds it secure. It works. I had to weld a new one on. I took my angle grinder and I filed it down on this side as best as I could so it doesn't, like, you know, cut into the battery. I might actually take this off and get my Dremel with like a sanding attachment and make it even smoother, because I definitely don't want it to dig into the battery. That'll suck, because batteries are $100, $150, $200. They're really expensive these days. So transmission, I did a quick flush on, so I dropped the pan. I don't know if you can see the pan over there, the blue one. Painted it AMC blue, put a new filter on, filled it up with 5 quarts of fluid, and it probably drained like 7 at least. So, but I put 5 quarts in there, and then I disconnected the cooler line, which is right there, that kind of oily line right there. Disconnected that, shoved it into a bottle. Had a friend turn the car on for me, and then turn it off when I yelled, when the pump, you know, was kind of pushing air out instead of fluid. And then I refilled it with, like, you know, another 3 or 4 quarts, and then did it again, and then did it one more time. So I flushed about, I want to say like 13 quarts total is what this thing got. So I have 2 quarts left, 2 or 3 quarts left in a bottle, because I got 3 5-quart jugs. So, or are they 4-quart jugs? I can't remember, but anyway, so yeah, it's like maybe 10, 12 quarts I put through there. I did notice on the cooling line, though, when I put the fluid, the way you can tell the fluid color is not by like your finger. You got to put it on like a white rag or a white piece of paper in order to see the actual color of it. The fluid coming out of the cooling line was still kind of a pinkish orangish color. It still had that orange tinge to it. It definitely was not bright pink like the new fluid. So, but to be honest, I put so much fluid through it, and I'm almost out, and everything costs money. I think 12 quarts is more than enough. So whatever old stuff mixed with the new stuff, it's fine. Transmission shifts good. It shifted fine even with the old stuff, but it definitely needed change. Diff cover is on. I didn't really want to use red RTV, but it's all I had. I couldn't find the black stuff, so it's all painted AMC blue. I used my grease gun on all of the joints and stuff like that. I can guarantee you they were never greased, or if they were, it's been decades. So those are all greased in the front. I tried to grease the drive shaft piston right here, but I couldn't get my the nipple on my grease gun to click on. So I don't know. I have to mess with that later. But another thing I want to show you guys, because I'm getting my shocks on, the coilover shocks, and my kitty is here. I'm putting these coilover shocks on in the front right now. I got one on the driver's side, and boy, man, I wish I could show you on video. Actually, I should have recorded a short video, but these front leaf springs are 50 years old. They're not bad per se. They're just flat. They're not like breaking or inverted upside down, but these shocks are 500-pound load capacity. It's basically like putting an Atta leaf on a old leaf spring pack, you know, which is supposed to give you like a 2-inch lift, you know, to help your old springs or whatever. It's basically the same principle. So, but anyway, I put these on, and the driver's side went from 17 inches to 19 inches from the center cap to the wheel well, and this side was still 17. So I gained 2 inches of lift just from this coilover shock. So that's actually impressive. On the Wagoneer, I only got like maybe an inch. 2 inches is insane, actually. So these leaf springs probably need to be replaced at one point. So, but it's fine for now. I'm not going to mess with it. Another thing I want to mention is if you do have these full-size Jeeps and you do want to go the easy route versus like an Atta leaf or anything, and you want to go the coilover shocks like I did, you're going to have to get washers and stack them right here, because when the leaf spring eyelet up there mounts up here, the coil actually rubs on the side of the shock tower, so you want to put some spacers on there in order to push it out a little bit. Not a huge deal. And if you're wondering why there's a shiny hole that I drilled down here, the reason why is because these shock towers on all of these full-size Jeeps, they just hold dirt, debris, everything, and they rust out horribly. They rust out the frame really bad, then it gets inside of the box frame, and then it rusts the bottom of the frame, and then it rusts the other side of the frame, which is where the engine is mounted to. I had to deal with this on my 90 Grand Wagoneer. It was so bad, I had to cut out this side of the frame, the bottom of the frame, the top of the frame was cracked. The other side of the frame that the engine mounts to was bad. I had to cut that out and redo it all. So yeah, if you do have one of these full-size Jeeps, and if you're wondering, I cleaned up my shop after I drove this Jeep earlier today, and all of this chunky stuff, the scale and everything, that's from inside of that shock tower. So if you have these one of these Jeeps, it doesn't matter, J10, J20, Cherokee, Wagoneer, whatever, check your shock towers. I can almost guarantee you that there is debris inside of it. And the reason why I drilled a hole in it is because I don't trust taking these bolts off, at least not right now. I don't want to deal with it. So I just cut a hole into it and just like took a screwdriver and just like, poked all the crap out of it and just got it all out of there. So I'll mess with it later on. I actually have 2 spare shock towers I took from a Cherokee in the junkyard. And on top of that, if I can find it, I don't know what the hell I did with it, but I had a plate in my hand. I actually cut off the side plate as well that the shock tower mounts into, and I used already one on the Wagoneer, so hopefully I don't have to use one on this. I don't know if the frame is as bad as the Wagoneer's. It doesn't look as bad, to be honest, but yeah. Now I know it looks heavily rusted, but that's literally just surface rust. The front of the frame is actually in excellent condition on this Jeep. This is all just surface rust. It looks bad, but it's just like that. You see that little plate for the bumper? Just surface rust. It just needs to be cleaned up and painted. Not a big deal. The whole frame up in the front and the middle is really good. It's just the back that was bad. See what else. The gas tank is in. So I got the tank in. Thankfully, this lock did have a key on my keychain, and it did work. So it wasn't like all corroded, locked, or anything, whatever. It does work. So let me show you the gas tank. Sorry. So the gas tank is in, as I said like 10 times already. And there's like maybe 12 gallons of gas in there right now. It's not leaking, so I guess my repairs worked. It only had one leak in the bottom anyway, down here. It was the top that was leaking, but it's not leaking at all. I don't even smell gas. So strap is in. It's really tight. This thing just does not move at all. It's actually pretty impressive for just one strap. It's a very large strap, though. So, but all the fuel lines are hooked up. Let's see. The one over here is the return line. That one is the sending line. This is the metal S. This is steel right there, or aluminum or something. The metal S is on there. I had to use the original coupler that was on here. And to be honest, here, this is the old fuel filler hose. This is the old fuel vent hose. I had to reuse them because I mentioned in a prior video that the new one, which this is right here, had a small opening and it would not fit on that filler port right there. So I had to reuse my old one, and the old one was only broken in this small spot right here, which I cut off, but it's hard as a rock. So what I did was I cut off my new one, the fat end of it, and I, pushed it on here, so you can see the old hard hose stops like right about here, where the tip of my fingernail is. I bought a set of clamps. I need to put a clamp on this as well. I just haven't done it yet, but this is going to be lightly clamped, not hard, because this is like basically plastic now. It's not rubber anymore. Just lightly clamp it so it doesn't come off. And you can see the line right here. This is where the hose or the tubing used to come to. So it's only, if you squeeze it right here, basically the tip of my fingernail right there is where the metal tubing comes up to, which is plenty. It's more than enough. So it's clamped down right here. And the reason why I had to reuse the existing, or the old vent tubing is because the new one only came up to about right here, and the metal vent for the gas tank is right here. So how in the hell are you supposed to, if it only comes up to here, how does that connect? So just like it was when I got the car, it had 2 of these lines, you know, hooked up here. So I used the new one and hooked it up to the old one with like a brass coupler, you know, barbed coupler in here. It works. It's no problem with it. It's not unsightly. It's just the way it was. So, yeah. So that's all done. I still need to get down here and clean all these welds. This is from like over a month ago, and I still haven't cleaned them. I need to clean all that up and paint it. Probably going to clean up the axle tube here shortly, paint that. That's about it. I'll let you guys go. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you for watching, everybody.